Can you turn a piece of art into a versatile capsule wardrobe to suit your entire lifestyle? Let's see. One of the biggest reasons I love art is because of the unexpected color combinations that I wouldn't normally come up with myself. And so when I saw this painting on the Wiki Art page, I fell in love and I decided to turn it into a capsule wardrobe. I want to give so much credit to Daria Andronescu, who originally came up with that idea. I've been super inspired by her videos, so you can go and check them out. I'll leave the link below. But I wanted to take the concept of art and actually use it to see if I can create a capsule using my own method that I talked about in this video, so you can check it out. So the first thing I take into account is what are the colors in the painting and which color analysis season they're actually going to suit. And so from a first glance, I would say that the colors are muted, but just to be sure, I wanted to go into Canva and extract the different colors. And so as you can see, yes, they were definitely not bright. And so you can compare it to their brighter alternative and see how much more muted they are. They have some more gray. At the same time, the colors are quite rich and they're warm. And so this is why this would be an autumn color type. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about which autumn it is, but if I had a preference, this would probably go into someone who is a dark autumn because you can see the colors are rich and I would say they are quite deep. So let's talk about this person. I decided to call her Jane and let's see what we know about Jane. So Jane is building a capsule wardrobe for the next 3 months and it's going to be sort of autumn going into winter. And she knows the temperatures are between 0 and 12 degrees and it doesn't really rain that much. And that is going to inform the choice of fabrics. So in here, I'm going to try to use as many natural fibers as possible. We're going to be using cottons, wools, cashmere, avoiding things like acrylic and polyester, especially for tops. We're also going to be using suede since if it doesn't rain, it doesn't really matter. It's a great fabric. The next thing is going to make sure that they're items that Jane is going to like. And so in here, we can incorporate style words. So the style words that Jane has are going to be feminine, flowy, and then something like warm or inviting. And so we're going to be looking for generally quite feminine cut pieces with fabrics that are maybe flowing or silhouettes that are flowing. And then we're going to also try to create this warm feeling through colors and maybe how things are paired together. So the next step in the process is analyzing Jane's lifestyle. And so Jane needs to dress smart 4 days a week because she goes out and meets clients as part of her role and she works from home 1 day per week. So in general, it needs to be quite smart, not necessarily super formal, but she needs to be able to create those presentable outfits. Jane doesn't have children yet, and so she wants to be able to go on dates, meet new people, go to brunch with her friends, shopping. And also she's quite an avid walker. She sometimes goes to the park with her dog, and so she needs some clothes that are suitable for that as well. So now that we know Jane's lifestyle, we need to decide whether we're going to build one capsule or multiple capsules. And I think because there isn't anything that's extremely formal and anything that's extremely casual, I would say that we can try to actually put items together and almost have a kind of mini capsule, but knowing that probably some of her tops for work can really be okay for date nights, brunches and things like that, and vice versa. And so her items would often have 2 purposes, so they're going to be a little bit more versatile. And so we're going to put everything together into one capsule. So in general, Jane said that she wants to rewear each item roughly 2 times. And so we're going to need about 45 outfits. Now, because the biggest portion of Jane's life is work, I would say she needs about 35 outfits for work, 5 outfits for dates and brunches and shopping, and about 5 outfits that are more casual. Now, if we can create more than that, that's absolutely fine. But in general, Jane likes to be creative and not necessarily repeat outfits too much. And so to create that and to give ourselves a little bit of space, we're going to increase everything a little bit. And so what I went with is that I'm going to look for about 8 bottoms, 12 tops, 2 jackets at least, 4 pairs of shoes at least, and 3 bags to suit the different situations that she encounters. Now, it doesn't mean that this is the exact number. We can go probably a little bit up or a little bit lower if things match very well together, but these are my guidelines to know how many pieces roughly I'm looking. Now, I'm not including here any sort of accessories like jewelries and hat or anything like that, because those are separate and maybe she has already things that she owns. The final bit we're going to analyze is the color preference. And so for Jane, she is level 4 on the saturation scale. So she likes outfits that have quite a bit of color, at least like 2 colors combined. She sometimes goes maybe into level 5 if it's more of a monochrome look, or she would go often to level 3, the pop of color outfits as well. That's also fine for her. but in general, it's 4. And so what that means is that roughly the capsule is going to have about 25% neutrals, 75% colorful items. And so again, we're not going to just put everything in the beiges and browns. We're going to look for a lot more colorful tops and bottoms so she can put them together to create the outfits that she likes. And so to actually create her style, this time I decided to keep it to just one store, because when I think about feminine and flowy, but generally quite simple items that have a warm and maybe a little bit bohemian feeling, I definitely think of Another Stories as a shop. And so I challenged myself to see, can I build a capsule wardrobe purely from items from there? And before diving into creating the capsule, let's also talk about the 8 tools for building a capsule wardrobe and where Jane is going to sit on that. So we talked about the color, that's level 4. So she likes to mix 2 different colors together, and we're using her color to create the color palette. In terms of pattern, she's a level 2 or 3, so generally small, quite neutral looking patterns, nothing crazy. In terms of layering, she doesn't mind layering, so she can have a variety of different thicknesses. In terms of texture, she mostly likes matte items, but she can have a mixture between flat ones and more 3-dimensional textured ones. In terms of length, when it comes to bottoms, she doesn't like the midi length, so she can go either long or short, but nothing really in that midi region. And in terms of tops, she doesn't like crop tops, so they have to come to her waist at least. In terms of silhouette, her preferred one is the fit and flare, so one more fitted and one looser item, or loose as a whole. She also doesn't mind that as well. In terms of details, she prefers to have interesting items, so nothing that is super plain. Items need to be different in some way. And finally, when it comes to accessories, she wants something that is versatile so she can reuse it in a variety of different situations, but she wants the items to have at least something interesting, whether that is a color or a detail. And by the way, if you're someone that's more visual and wants to learn about the different tools you can use to create your ultimate capsule wardrobe, definitely check out the PDF below, because I have put a lot more examples and information on what each tool is and how to use it. So this is the capsule that I came up with, and I'm super, super proud of how it turned out. So let's go inside and see what is in there. So the first thing I wanted to create for Jane is some shirts and blouses that she can use for work. Because if she works, let's say, in an office, meeting clients, she doesn't need anything that's super heavy, because most of the time if she goes for lunch or meetings, it's going to be quite warm, right? But she still needs to be able to move outside if it's cold. And so I picked those 7 shirts, and you can see that none of them have the same color. And that is because we don't want to be repeating things. And here we can see as well, if we use the rule of 2, which I talked about in the other video about how to make interesting outfits, there is nothing that is really similar about those items. Even if they have the same silhouette, they're different by color. And in general, each of the items has some level of detail. So whether that is through a small pattern, the shape, the cut, the flowy sleeves, the draping, anything like that is interesting. And so there's nothing really plain in any of those tops. Next, I wanted to make sure that she had some more casual and also layering pieces. So you can see the cardigan and the wrap top are perfect for things like brunches, maybe a more casual date night. And if she has anything more formal to like a very fancy restaurant, she can definitely use one of her work blouses. But for more casual occasions, those 2 jumpers are going to be great. I decided to give her the yellow and white pattern jumper because this one is very casual, and so she can wear that when she goes to walk her dog, or just like for anything that's very, very simple and casual. And then I gave her this bib. And this one was a very interesting one because I don't think it's necessarily something that you wear inside, but if you go outside, she can put this on top of her blouses and under a jacket, and it's still gonna keep her warm while still not adding any bulk in the sleeves. And finally, I wanted to give Jane some layering tops that she can use with blazers and jackets, but she can also wear in more casual situations. And so you can see those don't actually pass the rule of 2 because they're only different by color, but they have exactly the same shape. And so those will be part of her safety blanket items, things that she can just take and put on and be dressed quite easily. And so again, I went with some more colorful, but generally simple feminine cut items because they're fitted to the body and they're gonna suit her style. Now, I wanted to add a couple of blazers and jackets, and so you can see those 3 blazers are actually quite different. The beige one is a more masculine cut, the yellow one is more boxy and it's almost like a jacket, and then the red one is part of a suit, so we have both the trousers and the jacket, and so she can wear that to a very formal event if she really has to, but she can wear them separately with the trousers and skirts and so on. And so even though the color is definitely a little bit richer, and some may say maybe leans a little bit to the cooler side, I still felt that a deep autumn could pull this off with a lipstick and maybe a blouse that is a warmer tone. Now, in terms of dresses, I decided to just give her one dress for a date night. So this shorter red one is very feminine, feminine, but it's not necessarily super sexy, still warm and inviting, but I still felt it's very, very pretty. And then I wanted to give Jane two options for work. So we have this white dress, and then we have the green, slightly more fitted one as well. And so again, they're both feminine, they're flowy, they're comfortable, and they create this warm, inviting feeling. So when it comes to bottoms, I thought it would be really good to have some variety, but generally go with the same silhouette, which is the wider leg pant. Because for work, if she's going to go meet clients and she wants to feel presentable and professional, that might be a great option for her. And so I gave her those 4 pair of trousers. Some are slightly more fitted on the leg and some are a little bit wider, but in general, they can create that very comfortable, flowy silhouette that she wants. Now, because she works from home one day on the Friday, and maybe she wants to have a pair of jeans that are similar to her work outfit to create maybe some casual date night outfits, I gave her a wider pair of jeans as well. I wanted to give her a cool pair of jeans that she can just wear if she wants to walk her dog or go run errands. So they're comfortable, they're relatively loose on the leg, they're not stiff. And so I chose this pair of barrel-leg jeans because I think they'll pair quite well with the more fitted tops. And finally, for brunches and date nights, I thought we're going to keep the feminine and slightly flowy silhouette with those 2 skirts. And so you can see they're cute, they're beautiful, and again, they're going to pair very well with a lot of the different tops. And finally, in terms of coats, again, I wanted to have different things to suit different occasions and different outfits. So I think a longer coat is an absolute must if you have quite a cold autumn. And so I chose this one in this deep chocolate color. I love it. I think it's a fantastic coat. It is made of wool as well, so it's going to keep her warm. Now, I wanted a shorter coat that's still a coat, so it still has the warmth, but it's maybe more suitable for those shorter skirts if she wants to keep the slightly lighter silhouette. And so this white coat was the perfect fit. I also wanted to give Jane something that is a little bit more casual, but she can still wear it for work with her trousers. And so a cropped silhouette leather jacket I thought was a really good fit. And so this one looks very dark, but it's actually not black, it's brown, and I think it's going to suit her really, really well. And finally, because she has to go run errands, walk her dog, she needed a big jacket with pockets that's very practical, but she still wants to have her color preference. And so rather than a boring black one, I chose this khaki green one to still fit into the color palette. Now, when it came to bags, obviously you can have more than 3 bags, but for this capsule, I wanted to keep it simple. And so we have one work bag that can fit laptops and a lot of different things, since it's also made of leather. I wanted a bag that she could wear if she goes on those dog walks or for brunch, shopping, anything that's quite comfortable. So this green suede bag was great. And then I wanted one that is more coquettish, more girly, and this small baguette style bag was it. And finally, when it came to shoes, again, I sort of split them by occasion and what they're going to be pairing it with. So for very casual occasions, I wanted to give her 2 options. One is maybe for warmer weather and one when it gets really cold or wet. So we have the trainers, which still have a little bit of that mustard yellow color. And then the green boots, I thought are a perfect fit because they're going to go really well with the barrel-leg jeans because they're slim on the top. And they're also going to match with the jacket. And so even though it's not necessarily the most bright outfit, we're having the green jacket, the blue jeans, and also the green shoes, is still going to create that level 4 color. Next, for work, I wanted to give her a variety of different shoes to wear with her wider leg trousers. And so I picked the brown Mary Janes, the more mustardy brown color boots, and then the chocolate cowboy style pointed toe boots. And so those are slightly different, but they'll create very similar looking silhouette, but they're still going to be different in terms of texture and color. And finally, I wanted a pair of boots that she can also wear with both her work dresses, but also with the shorter skirts to create still a warm but a bit more flirty silhouette. And so the pair of brown suede boots, I think it fits perfectly in here. And so I just had to put it in the capsule. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm. And finally, I wanted to give Jane some accessories. And again, those normally don't count in terms of items, but I just wanted to complete it to show you how I think about creating the capsule. So because Jane is level 3 on the pattern scale, she doesn't like anything that's like super patterned, super bright and contrasting. I thought that this scarf is a nice mixture. It has this like beige, it has the brown and a little bit of blue. So it can create still a warmer looking outfit. Now, I wanted to give her 2 hats and 2 scarves for those really colder days. And I chose the green one to go with the brown coat because there's going to be a bit of contrast, and then the brown one to go with the green jacket. And of course, she can mix and match them to create different looks depending on how much color she wants to wear that day. And finally, I wanted to give her some belts because all of the wider leg trousers have belt loops. And in general, we're going to have quite fitted tops. And so we want to emphasize the waist to create a little bit more of that feminine silhouette and that warm and inviting feel. And so again, I decided that the belts have to be quite interesting. So whether that was through having a slightly interesting buckle, having a different color, or having, for example, the braided texture like the brown belt, or having the wider brown belt that can cinch in the waist, I thought that all of those were really good belts for her to use with a variety of different staples. And finally, I wanted to put some earrings and some necklaces. And so earrings would probably be best with the higher neck tops, and necklaces are going to be great for those open colored ones. And so I chose gold and white, so that is still in the warmer color scheme. And I also found this rusty orange beaded necklace, which I thought was really cool. And again, I wanted to include that. And so overall, you can see how in this capsule, we have a variety of different items, but most of them are colorful. So now let's see what outfits can we actually put together with those items. So because work is the biggest part and maybe Jane doesn't want to look exactly the same every single day, I wanted to give her at least 3 different outfit formulas that she can use. So the first outfit formula is a pair of wider leg trousers with a blouse and a pair of boots, and then having the longer coat on top. Now, this is a very easy silhouette. She can add a belt as well to add a bit more color and create that preference for herself. And again, you can mix and match the tops and the bottoms to create at least 30 different outfits from here. I also added the bib, like I said, that she can wear when she goes outside and take it off when she goes in. The second combination is slightly different, and maybe it's for those slightly warmer days. So it's again a pair of trousers, but with a fitted knit top and then a blazer jacket on top. And so maybe she doesn't necessarily want to wear the tops on their own. Maybe they're a little bit too fitted and too revealing. She doesn't want that. So she wants to wear a blazer jacket on top. And so again, she can create that silhouette with the variety of different items and again, pair them with pretty much any shoes and any belt. And the final silhouette I wanted to give her is actually having a dress. And so you can see a dress paired with the belt and the taller boots is going to create a really, really cool outfit. And here she can go with the crop jacket or with a longer coat. And again, they're going to create slightly different looking outfits, and she can play a lot with which belt she chooses to use on each day. So now we've given Jane at least 50 different outfits, and so if she repeats each of those twice, she's absolutely sorted for the next 3 months. Now going down in formality, let's look in some outfits for dates, shopping, brunch with friends, anything that is slightly more casual. So I decided to give Jane those 2 tops, and also we're going to reuse some of her work blouses because I think they make the perfect companion to the mini skirts and give a little bit of that femininity and slightly more warm, inviting feeling than if she was to just wear a t-shirt. So the outfit formula in here is a blouse with a mini skirt, taller boots, and then the coat, which is going to come pretty much to cover the skirt. And so it still looks very feminine, I think, but it's not super over the top. And again, in terms of bags, she can choose the shopper bag, which is maybe more suitable for daytime, or the smaller bag if she wants to go out. And even though I put outfits with the taller boots, I think they're also going to look fine with all the other pairs of shoes because they're still fitted and they're going to create a nice silhouette. The other option she has in here, of course, is to also wear the red dress, which creates a similar overall silhouette to the skirt and blouse. And finally, going down in formality, we're going to create outfits for walks, kind of casual things, or maybe even lounging at home. And so in here, we have the 2 pairs of jeans. They're both quite looser fitting, so they're very comfortable. And we have all the knitted tops in here. So generally, like knits are less formal, so she can use them both for work with a blazer or on their own for more casual outings. So let's say she wants to go run errands, walk her dog, anything like that. This is the outfit that I put together. So starting with the roll neck and the barrel leg jeans. I've added the bib on top for extra warmth, and then the green jacket. And then I also added the green boots in case it's really wet. And so you can see this outfit is still very colorful, but it's also weather appropriate and it's occasion appropriate, right? It's still casual and suits the task that she's going to do. So in here, of course, you can use the scarves, you can change the back. Maybe she doesn't even need the back. She can use the pockets if she just goes for a walk. And I think this one is quite practical, quite cool, and definitely something that she can reuse for a variety of different scenarios. And there are definitely outfits that we haven't explored in here. For example, pairing the barrel leg jeans with any of the more formal blouses, or pairing the wider leg trousers with the knitted tops. There is loads of different combinations that you can create that I haven't even shown you in here. So there are hundreds of outfits in total that Jane can create. So if she doesn't want to repeat an outfit, she doesn't even have to. And that is the power of having more than 5 tops and 5 bottoms, right? Because you can mix and match and create a variety of different outfits for different occasions and different activities. So you might be wondering, could this capsule actually be smaller? Because maybe you're someone that has a space restriction or a budget restriction, or you just want to have less items because you get overwhelmed. And that is totally fine. So I wanted to show you a slightly smaller version of the capsule that has less items, but that still has a lot of versatility. And so you can see in here, we've only left 4 different blouses. We left the bib. We're going to keep 5 knitted tops in total. We've removed one of the blazers and one of the dresses. We're keeping the coats the same, and the shoes and the bags pretty much the same. I've just removed one pair of boots that was a little bit repetitive. I've also removed a couple of the belts because maybe she doesn't need that many, and the hat and the scarf that were repeating. And so in here we have 31 items, not counting the accessories. So it is a smaller capsule, but you can still create at least 70 different outfits. And so if you're someone that maybe doesn't mind repeating that many outfits, or you have a limited space, this might actually be a really great fit for you. And the capsule is yours. It is something that you decide how you want to make it. So this is an example of how you build a capsule that works for you and your lifestyle. And let me know in the comments below, what painting should I do next? And if you haven't yet watched my building a capsule wardrobe video, now is the perfect time, so click here. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.